It's Monday again. We are getting ourselves all set to come in and talk to various people. Janine's in the background doing her little tapping of certain things that I have no idea what she does, but thank God. Into different areas. Goodness. So sorry for anyone who doesn't get to listen to me.
How you doing, Mary Grace? We had a week off last week because of Memorial Day. Did you have a nice did you get together with your family or what did you do?
I did. On Memorial Day, my mom's birthday is on May 30th. So her whole life, when she was little, until someone told her differently, she thought all the parades and everything were for her, which explains why she has such a queenly demeanor of really fancy steak dinner. It's her favorite thing to do in the whole world. And my kids came over and had a little party for her. So it was all about her this past weekend.
I love that for her. I bet and I love how you said that she thought those parades and things were
Yes.
I mean, that's just classic your family as far as I'm concerned. So we have a bit of an issue because we have to do a little break in between when we're talking here. Because I saw your mouth moving, but I wasn't sure what you were saying. So we'll work on that and be fine. But go ahead and say what you wanted to say there. I'm going to just move it one more time here and make sure we're good.
I want to make sure everyone can hear me. I heard if I delay a little bit, everyone can hear me. But I think this is important because I love trivia. So because we were so in tune with May 30th and my mom's birthday, Memorial Day used to be on May 30th. That's the actual Memorial Day. And it wasn't until like 1970 something that the government made an official holiday, like a 3-day weekend. So we used to have off the 30th, no matter when it fell during the week. And the person that I was speaking to didn't know that had happened. And I think stuff like that is really interesting, but I did because
Yeah,
it
I,
changed.
I never knew that either. That's great. I always love when you have trivia and you can just pop these things out. I did something new too today with our free jewelry call. I don't know if you might not be able to see it because you might be on your phone and it's super small, but on the computer and in the Grace and Grit studio on our business page as well as our studio group, the comments are actually coming up in the little section over here next to Mary Grace. So you can kind of see as people are hopping on and we're getting a bunch of hellos and hey ladies and people are starting to say who their stylists are. So that was what the question I was going to start to ask with. When you hop in, and there's 25 of you in here right now, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Do me a favor and let Mary Grace and I know, who is the stylist that invited you to the free jewelry call tonight, and give us his or her name in the comments so that that person can look out for you and say hello. So welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. You were invited here tonight to listen to this call. It's really a live stream. It's not a call, but you are here to listen to our live stream because the person that invited you thought that much of you. They believed that you could hear this information and do something very powerful with it. So we're going to talk tonight about what it's like to be a Park Lane stylist. We're going to give you some high-level things about the benefits and why jewelry is a good idea and what we really do for a living. We're going to do it for the next 20 minutes. And then at the end, the cost of your admission is simply to listen to us and then fill out the Google form. And Mary Grace will choose a winner from those forms and she will send out free jewelry. Now, I do want to give a very quick shout out to our winner from last week because she mentioned in the chat today that she absolutely loves the pieces that she won, and that was Tammy Hoyle. She was one of our winners. So Mary Grace sends pieces with an S on the end. That means additionals, not just one, for everybody to get. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm seeing a whole bunch of stylist names, Mary Grace. We'll ask some more questions in the chat as people hop in. However, we're going to get started because it is 5 after 7, and we like to give people just a little time to hop in. So, Mary Grace, let's start by talking to these fabulous people. We talk about direct sales all the time. We say we're in the direct sales business. So, I'm going to ask you to explain to them why direct sales, and then actually, how does it differ from MLM or multi level marketing?
Um, it's funny that you brought up that the gal who won last week commented on her winnings. Why am I talking so slow? But
Okay.
I was going to actually ask, and I know that we have repeat watchers, but if you have been a winner in the past, and a lot of times it's people that end up joining, a lot of times, put a picture of your stuff up. I think that might give some people some extra like catalyst to join us and know like,
Mhm.
whoa, it's like hundreds of dollars worth of jewelry. It's not just like one little tiny piece, you know, well, the least expensive thing in our catalog. And it's always curated to what people put that they like. So I can't remember exactly what Tammy said she liked, but I really actually have fun doing it because shopping for other people is one of my favorite things. So be sure to stay to the end and do the Google form so that you may be one of our next winners. So direct sales. Okay, what we do here at Park Lane is called direct sales. Um, Janine and I both, and many, many other people on this call, if they're one of your reps, began careers in direct sales with other companies, and came over to Park Lane because Park Lane is the only company that recognizes experience and brings you in at a level equal to what you already achieved at another company, just like any other business. I throw that out early because, to my knowledge, we are the only company that does that. And sometimes companies are in trouble. Sometimes people are just looking for something new and exciting. Sometimes they want to make more money, and we make more money here. Lots of great things. So I did want to let you know that if you've been with an MLM and multi-level marketing, we also will take a look at that because there are some things in common between the two industries. However, multi-level marketing really is, they're home-based businesses like direct sales, but multi-level marketing, really the emphasis is on recruiting. It's bringing people in. It's turning customers into representatives, if you will, and they're creating levels on which they'll get paid, and they have to watch the multi-levels in order to assure that they're doing something correct and that their pay is going to continue. Okay. With direct sales, we are direct to consumer. So our main emphasis is on sales. Do we recruit? Yes, we absolutely do. I hate that word because it always sounds like trying to get something to do, people to do things they don't want to do. But do we like hire? Yes. Do we bring people in? Yes. And it's just it's just, if you guys think about it, I can only do so much. And if I was doing some kind of customer show or online stuff every single day, I could only do so much. I could work, 24 hours a day, but I could only do so much. As I hire other people, as we share this opportunity with other people, we can spread the joy of Park Lane. So direct sales does have a recruiting aspect, but our emphasis is on the sales. It's not where a credit card's going to be hit every month for a certain amount. It's every day. Every day's a new day and new types of jewelry to show. Direct sales has absolutely formed my adult life in so many wonderful ways. It's been a huge asset to my family. It put 4 kids through college, cash, and continues to have us live a lifestyle that honestly we never dreamed that we would be able to live. So I am glad that I just didn't hear the word direct sales and go, oh, is that one of those pyramid things? Because that's what people do by accident. And no, it is not. It just means direct to consumer. One of my favorite stories about direct sales is the David Bach one, which I haven't told in a while. But David Bach wrote The Automatic Millionaire, multi-million dollar bestseller, whatever. Really great advice in there on how to become a millionaire when you're just an everyday person, like we used to be. Just everyday people living paycheck to paycheck. He said when he was a financial planner and he was so excited to unroll his How to Become a Millionaire, he was just absolutely shocked by 99.9% of the people that he met were living beyond paycheck to paycheck. So when he was trying to get them to just invest a little bit of money every single month so that they could have that, the benefit of the interest and show them how fast it would accrue, he said he just got met with like laughter sometimes, like, David, we don't have an extra blank every month. He actually became a huge proponent of direct sales because when he learned about direct sales, he said, you know what, it's perfect because you can work it around the schedule that you already have. Nobody tells you when to work. You decide when you want to work. So there really is no obstacle, especially with Park Lane, because we don't have any minimums or anything. You do it as little or as much as you want. So having heard that and wanting some extra income for my family, even though I was teaching full time, I had 4 children, I had a husband, and I was working on my master's at night, I was able to take whatever extra time I had or that I chose to spend in a different way in my direct sales business. And even under those circumstances, with as little time as I had to give it, I was able to quit teaching in a year because that income uh, did whatever, overcompensated for everything that I was doing as teaching. So I began to be a stay-at-home mom, a work-from-home mom, as opposed to a go-out every day mom. And it made differences in our lives in so many different ways. But Janine, I know this happens to you. It happens to me. A lot of people, when we offer this to somebody, because we're like, oh my gosh, you would be so good at this. Like whoever invited you to this call, they're like, oh my gosh, you would be so good at this. One of the first things people think is, oh, I already have a job. And I never would have been courageous enough to quit my full-time job and just do direct sales. But one of the advantages, in my opinion, is no one is telling you when to go to work. You can go to work around the schedule you already have, especially in today's world with the online capabilities and the fact that I provide all of the images you need to run an online business. So every single time this answer comes out a little bit different, but in a nutshell, that's what direct sales is. We serve as a liaison between the customer and the company, and we get paid to do so very well.
And you also opened with our direct appointment program where we both were brought in that way. And incidentally, guys, what you're listening right now, and Mary Grace doesn't always talk about this, but I love to say this. Her leader team has hundreds of years of experience. We've all come from other companies where we spent decades working at them and came here because of the benefits of that program. So
Yes.
I'm going to ask everybody to drop in the chat, everybody that's watching right now. Can you drop in the chat? Let us know if you were with another direct sales company. You don't have to name the company. You can just say a candle company, a basket company, whatever, because you'll see that a lot of people in here probably have dabbled in this before. And we would just love to chit chat with you about our direct appoint program. Mary Grace, the next question I like to ask you after you explain direct sales and the difference with that and multi-level marketing is really, why jewelry? Like, where does that fit into it all?
Well, I hope I piqued all of your interest with just talking about direct sales in general and what a difference it can make in your life. And if I did, and you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll look into direct sales, one of the things you might do is say, what product do I want to represent? Well, we fell into our original company. I did. I was at a show. I thought, oh, I could do this. It's the first time anyone had ever offered me a job opportunity with, at a at-home party or whatever. And I joined the company and I loved it and off I went. Had I had the wherewithal or the foresight to really look into what I wanted to do and where I wanted to make the biggest impact, I would have chosen jewelry. And I was somebody that used to say, who would ever sell jewelry? So if you were to look it up on the net and it, just said, I'm thinking of doing direct sales, one of the things they would recommend to you, I don't know who they are, the little AI guy or whatever, would be to choose a product that you love. And I always say that I think that's what is even smarter is to choose a product that the most other people love. So even though I wasn't a huge jewelry lover, I sure am now, even though I wasn't a huge jewelry lover and I didn't know much about it, when I started to research and see the research that Park Lane had done when I was interested in changing companies, because mine was going spiraling down, oh my gosh, you guys, jewelry is the place to be. It's so the place to be. And it's because of so many different things, but one is the market. I mean, it appeals to every type of person. every age, every demographic, everything. Okay, it's everybody. It withstands the test of time. Janine, I said this so many times. Janine finally looked it up for me. But the first documented instance of someone wearing jewelry is like 150,000 years ago. In the meantime, we're seeing projections of like 43 billion. Can you imagine those kind of numbers that's going to be spent in the design inspired jewelry industry? It's so cool. It, as far as being salespeople for the product, it's such a non, okay, couple things. First of all, you can just jump in and do it. If you know where a necklace goes, you're in. If you know where a bracelet goes, you're in. There's no like special like vitamins you have to learn about, or burning times, or things that could hurt people. Nothing's being ingested or put on stuff. So that part is really awesome from our standpoint. It's very inexpensive to ship and store. My last company, I needed a whole extra garage. So did Janine for our stuff. Here, it's like it's in the size of a purse. Okay, if we ever need to go out and show people a size of purse. People wear our product. We wear our product. This very day, I got compliments on this necklace. So it's very non-invasive. It's not like you're out there having to market like a mad woman. You know, it's like people are coming to you because you're wearing your jewelry. So are the people that you sold the jewelry to. Okay, and they're like referring people back to you. So all of these things, it's considered a consumable product, which I think is so cool because fashion is consumable. And what I mean by that is it changes with design, trends, outfits, seasons. So people don't just say, oh, I have a necklace. I will forever only have this necklace. And it's one of the biggest gifts in the world, candy, flowers, and jewelry. So when you look at all of the pluses that go with jewelry, it is so obvious the place to be. And no surprise that I have actually doubled my sales and my income since I came here. And I was the number one person in that other company. I'm not saying that to impress you, but to impress upon you the power of not only jewelry, but of Park Lane, in case Janine chooses to ask me about Park Lane.
In case I choose to. Okay, so now we asked the question about other direct sales companies, and a ton of people wrote them in there. And then we had some people that wrote no direct sales, or I don't have sales experience. What would you say to someone like that? I'm just going to interject that in because I'd love to know your thoughts.
So I think people that have Park Lane as their very first direct sales experience are so incredibly lucky because you don't even know that you started with the best, because our programs are so incredibly rich, which we'll talk about in a second. It doesn't matter if you don't have experience. We're here to teach you with all of our hundreds of years of experience. And we know what we're doing. We'll catch you. We will take care of you for sure.
Love that. Listen, if you're watching this on the Grace and Grit Studio page, our business page, do us a favor and click that share button. I go back and look through the shares, and Mary Grace will most times, do an additional drawing for the people that share it. So click that share button and let people on your wall know what you're watching tonight. Okay, so now we know what direct sales is. We know where jewelry fits into this. So please tell everyone listening, why Park Lane jewelry?
When I talk about Park Lane, obviously people are going to probably think, well, of course she's going to say Park Lane is the best because that's where she works, And as far as I knew, the company that I was with before was the best because I didn't know any differently. Now, as you get older and you get wiser and more seasoned, you compare, and this truly is the very best direct sales company that's out there for a lot of reasons. Okay, one of which is its longevity. Park Lane's been around since 1955. We're 70 years old. We're debt free and cash rich. I don't know if any other company in direct sales can say that. But we are seeing them, struggle, especially after COVID, but we are solid, solid, solid. So those are very good things. We know that we're going to get paid every single week and we love it. We're throwing extra things at people instead of taking things away. They have, told us since day one that they will never decrease any of our programs. The only thing they'll ever do is add to them. So we love that. When you look at a company, you want to look at what their programs are, especially like a direct sales company, probably any company. But you look at, we call them the 3 Ps. You want to look at the product, obviously. You want to look at the programs as far as what they do for customers and hostesses and stuff like that. And you want to look at the profit center. So we call them like the 3 Ps. Now, the product, I actually did have, I won't go into this whole long story, but I had an opportunity to be like over all of the salespeople in another jewelry company. Very flattering title, not the flexibility we get here or anything. In the end, I chose Park Lane because we have the richer programs, and I wanted to be able to say that I represented the best. But I also chose Park Lane because of the product. So what I noticed about Park Lane and what people have told me since, my customers say it, is there is something for everyone. So most other companies have just a certain market. They decide to hone in on maybe like they're going to be all silver, or they're going to be all charms, or they're going to be all crystals, which is great. But unfortunately, when I talked about how jewelry opens a whole market, you're slimming down that market again. So Park Lane has every trend, every type of person. I love that. Something for everyone. As far as the programs go, we have a customer sale that actually, if you're familiar or have ever been to any kind of home show, people think it's the hostess program at first because it's so generous. No, any customer at any time, there's an ongoing sale where it's buy 2 items for regular price, get 4 items for half. Okay. When you spend 90, you get an extra bonus thing. All right. This is really cool because the customers love it. People want to invite their friends to a party, either online or in person, or just recommend it because people love to share a deal with their friends. It's one of the best things that we love to do. And then if you think we're generous to customers, we are unbelievably generous to hostesses because they get free stuff based on how many orders they collect, not based on how much their friends spend. So there used to be a whole extra pressure thing, like I hate to ask my friends to spend money. And we absolutely love with Park Lane, like it doesn't matter. Somebody can buy something for $30 and the hostess with 10 orders still gets $40 free per order. So it's really awesome. It's really, really awesome. Now, let's go to the profit program. Okay. First of all, I want to point out a couple things. The customer plan. They are thrilled to death because they are getting a lot of jewelry for a very great value. And it's normally over $100. That's great for us because we get paid on whatever they buy. So when people say they're going to sell $5 jewelry, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it, but I don't get it. This is better. Secondly, I already mentioned how people wear our jewelry and we get referrals. So the average customer is going home with 4 to 6 pieces of jewelry, not one, right? And we absolutely love that because again, they're showing all of our different styles and it's going to appeal to different people, and that's wonderful. Okay. The hostess is thrilled to death because her friends got such a good deal. Now, in the same way, because the hostess gets so much, same thing. She's out there wearing all kinds of jewelry every day of the week, different jewelry. People are going, oh my gosh, I got to have my own show. Okay, this is all great. Then, as the people that profit from all of this, we are getting paid on whatever they buy. So we love that the average order is $100. We love that people love to have shows because they get so much for free and like to share it with their friends and family. And we are the highest paid in the direct sales industry. In fact, that was one of their goals. The Levine family, when they started the company, they said they were always going to pay their people more than anybody else made. So we have the ability to get paid on our own sales, anywhere from 30 to 50%. We also have weekly bonuses, monthly bonuses, annual bonuses based on where we are in the structure. So it really adds up. And then you guys, anything else, like something I forget to say that is so basic is the amount of free jewelry we get. I'm doing a show right after this for a guy who's starting the business. And he said, Margaret, I can't believe how much free jewelry I've already gotten just for what I've sold so far. But we get over $1,000 in free jewelry every month, or that we have the ability to, based on certain like standards. And it's like, if you're a jewelry buyer, you know what? Come here and get it for free, or go ahead and buy it here if you want to. But while you're working here, and they get paid on what you bought, it's like you may as well get back a paycheck on what you buy, right? So we have 2 trips a year. We have a Mercedes car program. We have I mostly what you can't actually even put into words is how much you learn here, the support, the people, all of that really great stuff. So I know I forgot things, but there's so many things to love about Park Lane.
Well, there is. And I think one of the strongest things, and I think you opened with this, and you've actually hinted about it too, is that there's no quotas and no minimums. So here you
No pressure.
Yep, there's no pressure to join with Park Lane. And I know that if you've been with another direct sales company, especially in leadership, you understand quotas and minimums.
No
So
pressure.
yeah, no pressure. Before I ask you the final question, I'm going to ask that everybody watching do one of two things or both things, which would be great. Drop in the chat and let me know one thing that Mary Grace said that really jumped out at you during this past 20 minutes. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is, if you heard something in here that you were like, my girlfriend, my neighbor, my niece, my coworker, my friend really would benefit from hearing this. Not to mention she loves jewelry or he loves jewelry and they would love to have a chance to win free jewelry. Drop us a solid heart and let us know you're going to invite them to next Monday night's free jewelry live stream. It is at 7 p.m. Eastern every single Monday night, 6 Central. And we are here to talk to you and talk to them and maybe bless them with something that could be really, really good in their life. Now, Mary Grace, the final question is always why now? And I know here is where you're going to tell us how much it costs to get started and how you get started, but I just can't wait to hear how you're going to answer why now.
Yeah, and it is a success principle. It's been proven that successful people don't overthink things. And if you do have any, like if you're a little bit excited about the possibility and then you talk yourself out of it, you're overthinking it because you're thinking, what if this happens? What if this happens? Well, you don't know what's going to happen, so you just lean in and you learn as you go, and there's no quotas or anything. Nobody's judging. So now is the right time, no matter what. That being said, it's $129. Now listen to what you get for the $129. You put it on your credit card, okay? It's a tax write-off because it's a business expense. You get to choose $600 worth of jewelry. $600 worth of jewelry for $129. That in itself is already a deal. Above and beyond that, it gets you access to everything you need to run your successful business. So you have like access to the back office of Park Lane. You have access to all of the images that I pay for our organization to use to do online things. And you have your own private website, like just attached to you, your name. If somebody looked up your name, Park Lane, and your name, they would be able to find your website. So you could take orders while you sleep, kind of thing. It's wonderful. The best way to get started, really the only way to get started, is to have a show. And what you do is you have a show, and then it's just so much, it's so nice when somebody else, like whoever invited you to this call, she does your show. You're watching differently because now you know you're going to be doing this from now on. But also, it's just so much less pressure when someone else lets your family and friends know that you're their new jewelry person now. It's just kind of like passing the torch. And then because you're a rep now, this show that you're doing, that really someone else is doing, you're the one that's getting paid for it. So you just paid yourself back for the kit and then some. So we cannot say it's a no cost startup, but in the end, it's like a rebate. Okay. You'll come out ahead. So anybody that's like looking out for your greater good and is so afraid you're getting taken advantage of or whatever, I absolutely love that we can show them all those things. I got all this free jewelry. I got the free jewelry for my kit. I got the free jewelry for being a hostess. I got a paycheck for being a hostess. And tell me how this hurt me. And they have to go, okay, you go. So yes, now is the right time. And I would be absolutely thrilled to death to bring you to our team right now. It's summer. People's clothes are changing. They need new jewelry. We come in to get a new line in just a few weeks. And like you can be part of, rolling out that new line, do your first show, get your feet wet. And then like, now who's going to have the next 10 shows because we have new stuff coming. So it's a phenomenal time to get started.
Love that. Love that. Mary Grace, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who hopped on. We're hearing all kinds of things from the free jewelry to the benefits to the no quotas. I have people giving me hearts, telling me the names of the people they're going to invite for next week. If you're not part of the chat from the Grace and Grit Studio group, there's a chat there. Go ahead and join the chat because I answer your questions for you there. And then if you have any other questions, we want you to go back to the stylist that invited you tonight so that he or she can answer those for you. Mary Grace, you're going to be looking at all of the Google Forms, which is provided at the top of the featured section on our Grace and Grit Studio group, as well as right in the description of this video. So you just click the link and fill out the Google form. How long do you give them, Mary Grace?
I like to look at them tonight if possible. So just do it while you're thinking of it.
Yeah, do it now.
Yeah.
But she does usually do it within 24 hours, and then I will announce the winner
Yes.
this week of who our winner of free jewelry is. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much to everybody who came on, and we'll see you back here next week at 7 Eastern.
Bye,
6 Central.
everybody.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.